Good morning, everyone. It's 11 a.m. UK time, and wow, we've got a new look. We've been away for a week on our spring break, and now we're back. We have a new program, we have a new look, and wonderful content to give you and share with you, and have this really great interactive program. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in here as well as out in the world. In the UK, the sun is shining, and that is the theme of our series starting today. You see, we've got sunflowers in the field, we've got a beautiful sky, there is some clouds, and we will learn to live with these beautiful clouds. This is a total mind fitness well-being workout. This is about us being together and building a life of high quality, whatever the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, so for everybody, this is within your reach, and I'm going to teach you about the T.R.I.U.M.P system. Okay, so, but just as normal, I want to know who's here. So please put some hellos in the comments. Let's see who's here. Let's get some real interaction going. Don't forget to share and like and tag and get this watch party going. Bring as many people on here as possible. But please stick in the comments. I've got my phone here to see if there's any comments coming in. So Joe Almond is in the house. Wonderful, excellent. Welcome to Joe. Okay, so let's get some comments going. Please say hello in the comments. Let me know you're here, and let's go. We've got lots of people joining up now. We've got a wonderful program. We're going to take you through some really, really great things. Okay, with the T.R.I.U.M.P program, I'm going to teach you each section as we go along over the coming days and weeks. Here in the UK, we're going into our 5th week of lockdown. We've got 3 weeks that we can utilize to bring our life into higher quality. The first 3 weeks that we did in the Total Mind Fitness Wellbeing Workout before the break was about dealing with the whole face COVID situation, with what's happening, the shock of going into this new kind of lifestyle of lockdown. And we dealt with that. We had a kind of an emergency first aid in dealing with all that kind of stuff. Now we're moving into a completely different phase, guys. We're moving into looking towards coming out of this. Okay, so we're looking towards dealing with what we've got at the moment, staying in the present moment, understanding where we are, who we are, and what we need to do. But the context is looking forward. Okay, so we're going from trauma to triumph. All right, trauma to triumph. All right, so if you stay with me over the every day, Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. UK time, we're going to learn together how to move from trauma to triumph, how to move from this situation that has been imposed upon us for whatever reason. We don't know. There's a virus out there. It is deadly. We're dealing with a lot of grief. We're dealing with a lot of distress. We're dealing with a lot of death. But the world out there carries on. And so we need to adapt, okay, in the best way that we can under the circumstances that we have. And let's build together a resilience program that we can move on and out and upwards, onwards and upwards, and move on and build together this program. So this is the T.R.I.U.M.P program, and I'm going to take you through it. I'm going to give you the headlines today, and then each day we're going to work on a part of it. But I need to know that you're there. Give me your likes, give me your love hearts, get sharing, get tagging, get watch parties going. So we've got Joe in the house, says hi. We've got Lance Bukat says, hi, Dov. Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming in. We've got Lance says, feels like longer. Yeah, it does. This is something that happens, is that we get this distortion of time. And it's really important that we deal with that distortion of time, because we can become what's called institutionalized. When we're going through the same thing, the same rooms, the same timetable every day, nothing much changes from day to day. In fact, we can get into the dangerous zone where the days and the nights start to become fluid and mixed. We start going to bed much later. We start getting up much later in the morning. Nights become a little bit of days. Days becomes a little bit of nights. And that's when we start to become institutionalized. So it's really important to have some sort of framework. It doesn't have to be the same framework as before the lockdown, but some routine framework. Light doesn't have to be strict, but where days are days and nights are nights, okay? It's really important that we take care of ourselves during this time, that we have good nutrition, that we have good sleep, that we have some sort of exercise, some sort of attachment to nature, even if it's just opening the window. Not everybody has a garden. Not everybody can go out and walk in the park. Not even, some people can't even get out the house. They're in shielding. So open the window, have a look outside and have a look at the sky. Even that will bring some sort of well-being into your life. So that's really important. Thanks for that, Lance. Really great. So like, share, tag, and we'll get into what the T.R.I.U.M.P system is. What is this T.R.I.U.M.P system? Adrian says, hi, Dov, looking forward to this. Fantastic. I'm really happy you're here, Adrian. This is great. So share, like, tag, and let's see what we have for today. So thanks very much for that, Adrian. Well done. So any comments, please say hello. Any questions you have as we go on, you're welcome to ask me in the comments. This is about community. This is about working together. All right. So really, really important that we get that. Right. So we're talking about going from trauma to triumph. Right. We're not going to define each an individual traumatic situation that we've been in. Some of us have been in very, very life-threatening situations. Some of us maybe even have lost a loved one or a close friend. Unfortunately, I have. But all of us have gone through some sort of traumatic situations, even if it's just the trauma, and a small t trauma, if you like, of going through this new kind of lifestyle of lockdown. I mean, what's that all about, right? Nobody trained us. Nobody taught us. We didn't go through a course on how to stay at home. And now what do we do? After years of practicing and being in part of a routine, going to work, going to studies, going to school, whatever it is that we do, or even just if we're at home and that we're looking after our families, but we can go to the shops when we want, we can go to the park when we want, we can drive around and go to the beach or the country or whatever we need to do. And now that's all changed. So that in itself has traumatic influences on our psyche, on our well-being. So we want to go from that, though. The first 3 weeks of the Total Mind Fitness program, we dealt with that immediate acute situation that we found ourselves in. Now we're going to move from that, from trauma, and we're going to move into triumph, right? We're going to move from where we are now, and we're going to move on, preparing ourselves for when, in whatever stages it happens, the lockdown restrictions start to be taken off us, and we can re-enter this new world that we're going to be living in, right? We need to prepare now. We need to get ourselves ready now. Okay, it's like, for instance, when mothers have maternity leave, okay, and they have to withdraw from their regular lives. Maybe they were working and they go into maternity leave. And what I found is that the longer that they're off that kind of working market, it becomes difficult sometimes to get back in. Or if somebody's been unemployed for a while, it's difficult to get back in to the old way of working. Confidence levels sometimes go down. We don't quite know if we can remember exactly everything. This is all natural. And it's really important that we use this time now, because eventually we'll be moving out of this. All right? It's not about getting projects ready, and it's not about getting all creative if you're not creative, and it's not about changing our life from one extreme to another. But it's about self-development. It's about self-improvement. It's about getting ourselves inside ready in order to get ready to move on for whatever the world holds for us. Okay? So, comments in the comment section, and let's see who we've got and what's going on. So, Miri says, today is Holocaust Day. Yeah, exactly. Let's feel how lucky we are to have a home. It's very true. It's a big, big lesson for us, Holocaust Day. Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist who was in Auschwitz, sat in the camps and had a possibility to escape. But he chose his value system to look after his patients. And he came up with amazing lessons for our life that we can use today. And that is those who have meaning in their lives, those who have value in their lives, those who have of what to live for will get through it. That's what he discovered in the time of the Holocaust, and that's what we can use today. We can bring meaning into our lives. We can bring value into our lives. We can bring an aim, a journey that we're going to be on and get through this. And that's exactly what this series is all about. That's exactly what this workout is all about. It's about bringing within your reach the meaning for your personal life. Okay? It's about bringing that spirituality into it. It's about bringing that emotional side into it. It's about using our inner resources to overcome these physical challenges that we have on the outside. All right, so great. Thank you for that, Miri. Avril says, good morning. Good to see you again. And it's great to see you again, Avril. Wonderful. Great to have you here. That's brilliant. What I want to do is have this interaction. This community interaction is extremely, extremely important. Do not underestimate this. You might be watching here on Facebook. You might be watching here on YouTube. This is a communication medium. It's about being together. This is really, really important. It's one of the best protective factors we have for mental well-being. It's one of the best protectors we have for physical well-being. This is prevention work we're doing just by being together, just by putting these comments in, by sharing what you think, by being together for this daily session as part of our routine. Okay? So this is really, really important. This is part of the routine, 11 a.m. every weekday morning, Monday to Thursday. You know, you have the T.R.I.U.M.P.H program. You know, you have this total mind, fitness, well-being workout, and it is within your reach. So thank you for that, Avril. Jamal is in the house and says hello. Wonderful. Brilliant. So the sound is going off and on, says Avril. Okay, so thank you for that. Can you please comment if you can hear me? If the sound is going on and off, then I need to know about it. So please let me know so I can actually change things if there's a problem with the sound. So let me know, please, regarding the sound. Can you hear me okay? Just give me the thumbs up. Give me a yes. Give me whatever you can, just so I know if the sound is all right. Okay, so what is the Triumph program? What is it all about? From trauma to triumph. What is that? Well, the T is about transforming your behavior and your habits. Okay? Especially when we're in a lockdown situation. And especially when we're in it for quite a long time, in which we're going to develop certain behaviors and certain habits that might not be in our best interests. In fact, we might have been like that even before the lockdown. And the lockdown can emphasize those behaviors and habits that might not be the most useful for us. They might not be in our best interests. And so we are going to learn skills. We're going to learn processes here every morning at 11 a.m. UK, how we can transform our behaviors and our habits in the most useful way for us. This is not a blanket system for everybody the same. This is about you developing your own behaviors and habits that are right for you. And I'm going to help you do this. And we're going to learn together these skills. And we're going to learn together how to do this. This is all about togetherness. All right? Togetherness is really important here. So Avril's telling me that the sound is a bit better now. So that is great, Avril. And thank you very much for the feedback. It's really important. So we're talking about transforming your behaviors and habits. And it's about getting in touch with that authentic self that we have. What behaviors and habits, if everything was okay, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you didn't have a worry in your head, you didn't have an obstacle in your life, you didn't have any challenges, what behaviors and habits would you like to be doing tomorrow which you're not doing today? Put something in the comments. What would you like to start doing? How would you like to start behaving that you feel that you're not managing to do that right now? Stick it in the comments, anything. What habits are not so useful for you just now that you would like to maybe stop doing less of and do something more of something else? Share. Let's see if we can get something going. I'll give you an example of mine yesterday. Anybody who's following me on Facebook will know this. Yesterday, I actually sat in my garden. I'm luckily enough to have a little garden. It really is very, very small. All right? But I've never sat in it in the last nearly 4 years of living where I'm living. I've never went out and sat in the garden. And yesterday, I thought to myself, you know what? Such beautiful weather. Why don't I just go and sit in the garden and see what that's like? So I sat in the garden. And it's not been tended to. So there's nothing there yet. It's just weeds, a little bit of ground. And it's got a bit of a sun trap. And it's really private, so it's really kind of walled in. And so I sat there and just contemplated. And I thought to myself, I want to do more of this. I want to express myself in the beauty of the nature that I have in this little tiny bit of garden, this little tiny bit of land. I want to beautify it. I want to add my contribution to it and beautify it. And I got lots of offers of help. Amazing. People are so generous these days. It's really good. But I've not taken that because I want to contribute whatever's inside me to this beautiful bit of nature. And just sitting there and looking at the sky and looking at the sun and looking at the vegetation that's growing in this little piece of land is so profound, really. It really is. And so that is some sort of transform of behavior and habit that I would like to have in sitting in my garden and listening to the sounds of the birds, smelling that vegetation that's around, that greenery, the flowers, listening to the bees, you know, it was just so beautiful. So what, guys, what do you want to do with your lives? This is the time. This Within Your Reach program is about us digging inside and seeing what we want to do. It can be anything. So Denise says, I want to contact all my pals and tell them how much I appreciate them. Wonderful. That's what it's about. It's about digging down and seeing what is it that's important to you, Denise, about contacting your pals and telling them how much you appreciate them. What is the value in there? That love that you want to contribute to others, especially your pals. It's about contacting that love. This is extremely powerful stuff. Okay, everything that I will teach you and be with you in this program is scientifically based. It's been studied and researched and has value in our mental, psychological, emotional, and physical well-being. This is the time to take care of it. We've all gone through and still going through a certain amount of distress and trauma. And it's really important now to start managing that so that we can get through now, but with a view to moving forward. And so wonderful. Denise is contacting, it seems to me, that value of love, that value of contribution, of kindness, of compassion towards her pals and telling them how much she appreciates them. So wonderful, Denise. That is really, really great. Avril says, I need to declutter and stop hoarding. And so I have a question for you, Avril. What are you cluttering up in your mind and hoarding in your mind? What thoughts are you hoarding? What feelings are you holding on to? What discomfort in your body are you cluttering it up with? It's not all about the physical. The physical is a representation of our spiritual situation, our emotional situation. So wonderful, 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 Avril. Let's connect to what it is that you want to declutter and what is it you want to stop hoarding. And we get to the bottom of this by, first of all, looking inside of what's cluttering you up and what you're holding onto. And we can begin together to let go. We can begin together to let go of that clutter, to let go of that hoarding. As a community, as we're all doing right now, beginning to share, beginning to be vulnerable together, be willing to contact our authentic selves and say, you know what? Now's the time. Now's the time. It is within my reach to reach triumph in my life, to reach high quality in my life. Despite and in spite of the situation that I find myself in. So really thank you, Avril, for sharing that. That is really great. So Avril says, I also exercise in my garden as long as it's not raining. So this is what we find. There is parts of the world that if it's raining, that's when they go out and they go, hallelujah, wonderful, it's raining. Let's go out and dance. There's countries in the world that do that when the sun is shining, but there's also people that when the sun is shining, they go indoors. People call the weather good weather and they call the weather bad weather, but the weather's just the weather. So it's wet, so it's dry, So it's hot, so it's cold. It's all weather. Venturing out into nature, looking at the skies, looking after ourselves, of course. If it's too sunny, we put sun cream on. If it's too wet, we put a raincoat on. But let's free ourselves. Let's free ourselves from these clutterings and these things that we hold on to, that we've been taught. It's not our fault. We've been taught them. We've been taught since we were little. Some of us were taught, don't go out in the rain. Some of us are taught you'll get a cold. All sorts of things. Let's free ourselves from these teachings that we've had in the past and discover new things. So Avril also says that she's got a to-do list. It's fantastic. Let's examine the to-do list. Let's see what's happening inside and what we can attach ourselves. What's important in our lives? Let's write down now, put it in the comments. What really matters in your life? Who is important to you in your life? Start that. Write down who is important to you in your life. And if you don't have a specific person, who would you like to be important to you in your life? Let's attach it. What matters to you in your life? Stick it in the comments. What matters to you in your life? Let's examine together. Let's do this together. So yes, for me, my family, my children are really important to me in my life. Really important. My friends, I've discovered over the last few years, such wonderful friends. People that are there when you need them. People that are there even when you don't need them. People that you can give love to, like Denise talks about, contacting somebody and just telling them that you appreciate them. It takes a second. These days we've got text. We don't even have to talk. We can just send an emoji of a smile to somebody, showing your appreciation that they're just there. Denise says, it's important that I don't get to the end of this period and say, oh, I really wasted the time. Okay, so there is no waste of time, people. This is our life. Every moment has something to teach us. Every moment has value in it, even if we're not doing something physically. This is what we've been taught in our society. We've been taught that we might waste our time. We've been taught that we need to keep doing stuff. We've been taught that, oh my goodness, the time is moving. Why are you being so lazy and sitting doing nothing? We have to be very careful of this. Wasting time is a judgment. We have to learn to understand that everything has value, even just sitting and contemplating. Even if we don't come out with a brand new business after lockdown, even if we don't come out having painted masterpieces on new canvas after lockdown, every minute of lockdown is an opportunity for us to appreciate, opportunity for us to connect to ourselves, opportunity for us to connect to the world and to connect to others. This is vitally important, that we begin to understand that we have something to contribute to ourselves and to others, but it doesn't have to always be in a physical way. So Denise, yeah, that phone call or that appreciation that you will show, that loving kindness to your friends, is beautiful. That is not wasting anything. That is building for the future. So it's gorgeous. Thank you, Denise, for that. So Avril says mental and physical health for myself and friends and family is important. Absolutely. So what we will do over these next days and weeks is examine these important things. Examine how we can use these things that are important to you and start to live by them. And the more we can live by them, the higher our quality of life will be. So that's beautiful. And thank you very much for that cooperation and interaction that you're having with me. So that's really good. So yeah, what else? What else is the T.R.I.U.M.P system all about? So we've got transforming our behavior and habits. As you can see, behavior and habits we'll open these boxes up called behavior and habits, and we'll delve in and we'll learn some beautiful diamonds about how we can actually accomplish that. The R is for resilience building. We're going to learn in skills and processes about how to develop even further that resilience that every single one of us has. We all have resilience built in. We're part of the human race. We're part of the human beings of this world, and humans have resilience built in. What we want to do is to dig in and develop that even more. So we're going to learn about resilience building. Okay, we're going to learn how to do it. We're going to learn how to use it to the best of our abilities. And then we're going to learn about interpersonal relationships enhancement. This is really important. This is what this is all about. What we're doing now is we're developing interpersonal skills, albeit on a remote way, albeit in a virtual technology. But this interpersonal relationship enhancement is really important. It's important between us and our partners. It's between us and our children. It's between us and our parents. It's between us and our neighbors. It's between us and our friends. It's between us and society. It's between us and everyone in the world. Developing our interpersonal relationship skills is really important. And we're going to learn this on the T.R.I.U.M.P program. We're going to learn how to upskill our plan. We're going to come out of this. Everybody's going to come out of this with a plan. What we want to do with our lives. It doesn't just mean work as in business. It's work as in work action that I'm going to develop my life in. Action and how I'm going to live according to the qualities that I set for myself. Not what everybody expects from me, but what I want to expect of myself, how I want to work and live my life. So we're going to plan that work, and then we're going to work out the plan. Because there's no point in just talking the talk if you're not going to walk the walk. And that's what we're going to learn here. We're going to do it together. We're going to build something together. Each person watching this and being part of this will be able to plan their own high quality life and then go out and live it. And when we go out to live it, we're going to be mindful of it. We're going to learn how to be mindful of the moments in our life. We're going to learn how to be more mindful on the actions that we take in life and enjoy all of it. So as Denise says, that we don't miss it, right? We don't want to miss any part of our life. Even the painful parts have value. Even the painful parts are important in our life, because we'll not experience joy if we don't experience pain. They go hand in hand. They're part of the holistic part of our life. They are part of everything about being human. They're part of experiencing what it's like to be alive. And by learning about mindful moments, how to appreciate the food that goes in our mouth, how to appreciate the sounds that we hear, how to appreciate the beauty that we see, how to appreciate the touch that we can have, and the tastes that we can have, and the smells that we can experience. This is really, really important. And we're going to do this with peer-to-peer support. We're going to do this by supporting each other. That's what this is all about. That's what putting in the comments is all about. It's about supporting each other. It's about seeing what each other needs and seeing how we can actually accomplish that for each other. So Mary writes in, she wants to improve her ability to speak fluently in front of an audience, to take digital courses on the subject, have knowledge and experience that she wants to share with people, and unfortunately she has inhibitions. So thank you, first of all, for sharing that. That's already one baby step towards what you want to do with your life. And I see here a number of beautiful aspects that you want to develop here. So first of all, there's the aspects of being comfortable with yourself, to be comfortable with your authentic feelings, even when they're uncomfortable. And then you have a wonderful sense of curiosity and learning. What a beautiful value of learning and curiosity, taking courses, learning new information for the purpose of developing yourself. And then you see the loving kindness that you have. The loving kindness of taking that experience that you've learned in your life, those learnings that you've accomplished in your life, and wanting to share that for the benefit of others. So that's a beautiful thing. And when we contact those values in our life, when we contact what's important in our life, like Miri just expressed to us all, and that was very brave of you, Miri, and I appreciate that, because it's a modeling for every one of us to be able to open up here and be together as a group, and together we will build in this peer-to-peer support and help each other through this and build, hopefully, a beautiful, high-quality life that we can develop for now and for going forward in the future. So Adrian says he'd like to support Earth's recovery. Notice how he can reduce his consumption of its resources and be kinder to the environment. Now, beautiful, beautiful statement, Adrian. I mean, are you not already contributing? Are we all not contributing to that beautiful, beautiful idea of yours? The world is becoming cleaner. We're all contributing just by staying indoors. We're contributing by we're not using our cars. We're contributing by not flying all over the world all the time. We're contributing by not having ships going back and forward. We're contributing by not putting fumes into the world, and pollution of noise, and pollution of light, and pollution of sound, and pollution of chemicals. You've already started, Adrian. You've brought us all into your idea. You brought us all into your wish of helping support the Earth's recovery. And that's a wonderful contribution to the world, Adrian. It's wonderful. Ancient sources tell us that we have a responsibility for this planet. We do. And if we don't take care of the planet will not take care of us. So it's really, really important. And I really want to know from you, Adrian, how do you wish to continue supporting the Earth's recovery? What kind of things would you like to be able to do? Share with us so that we can be part of that vision of yours. So thank you very much for that. So peer-to-peer support is something that we want to be developing, just like we're doing now, just like we're doing this morning. And this is the big one, because the thoughts are going to come in and tell us we can't do this. The thoughts are going to come in and tell us, Dov told us it's within our reach. No. That's just for other people that it's within their reach. For me, it's not within reach. All right? So we need to harness these thoughts. We need to know what to do with them and how to manage them. And those feelings, these uncomfortable feelings, just like Miri told us about. Thank you so much, Miri, for sharing that, because that is a gem that we can all learn from here. In that, those feelings that hold us back, those feelings that we hoard into and that we connect into and that we don't want to let go of, those feelings that are holding us back because we don't know how to manage them. Instead of harnessing our thoughts and feelings and being able to manage them in a way that we can move forward and upward and improve the quality of our life. So the T.R.I.U.M.P system is going to help us do this, but we need to do it together. We need to do it as a team, as a community. It's not just about me going on and on and on. It's about all of us being able to do this together. And we can do it at 11 a.m. every morning. Same place, same time, either on YouTube or on the different Facebook groups that this is a part of. Tell your friends, tell your family, share this, like this, tag this, and let's move from trauma to triumph. Good morning, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thanks for joining.